Here at Colonial School District, with strong support from our board, our superintendent, and a vision of STEAM from our director of curriculum, we've been able to develop and implement a K-6 computer science framework and curriculum.
One of the great things about technology is that it is constantly changing.
Computer science is wonderful. I get to see so much creativity. I get to see the excitement of the students.
The kids love it. It's highly engaging, they're motivated.
There are innovative learning opportunities happening across the Commonwealth, all of which are taking the lead and being on the cutting edge of content and pedagogy in their schools and in their classrooms.
A few years ago, we had a kindergarten class walk into the technology labs, and the students were attempting to have the computer move by touching the screen. They looked at the mouse, they didn't even know what it was. So it was at that time that we realized we were not programming adequately for these students. We were not teaching the skills that they would need to be successful as they moved into the future. We took the curriculum at that time, and based off of the 4 C's,
Creativity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking.
we created our innovation technology curriculum, which you see here today. We piloted it for a year, and then we reached out to CSTA to come in and do the audit. Any gaps that we found, we're now building pieces into it. We're making sure that we continue to add and refine where we see gaps and holes in our curriculum.
I found that technology is not that far off from music in the way that it helps students express themselves, be creative, and also, much like music, it's sort of a language, especially as you get into things like coding with the computer science.
Starting in kindergarten, we start coding and programming with our students. They start with an app where they're dragging basic commands and then being able to see the results immediately. We take it to first grade and second grade where they're using an app called Codable, where they are sequencing, they're using conditions and functions, and they're getting the basic coding and programming concepts. By the time they get to third grade, they are creating a basic animation using Scratch. They have a sprite or a Scratch character, and they can have it move, say something, show some sort of animation.
It allows the kids to really be creative. When they get to us, what we end up doing is trying to challenge them a little bit more. The kids program things in Scratch. Combined with the Hummingbird kit, gives the kid an opportunity to create basically whatever they can imagine.
We'll go around like this.
And we'll have a tick mark, so wherever, and then when you take your hand away, it will land somewhere on the wheel.
Computer science is something that the kids will actually take with them, and it can be extended into high school where they teach them a different language.
None of the innovation that's taking place in education across the Commonwealth could happen without the support and the buy-in and the hard work of our teachers in the classroom.
Kids love being creative, especially in the younger grades. They like to feel their ideas matter, and they get to express their ideas with things like robotics and other technology tools we have available at school.
Just the coding and programming unit itself has had an impact on these students. They're thinking sequentially, they are problem solving, learning perseverance. They may not get it the first time, but they can keep trying and plugging away at it and become successful.
We're not looking for the kids to come up with the same solution, the same exact way. As a teacher, you want kids to be able to take something that they learn here and apply it elsewhere.
When we first implemented the professional development, we looked internally to our librarians and to our teacher leaders who were already tech integrators and tech savvy. And we started to develop a curriculum around that.
To implement K-12 computer science for all students across the curriculum and integrate it into classes beyond just a traditional computer science class, it's going to take professional development and have a clear understanding of what the expectations are for the teacher, what the expectations of learning for the student are, and what those outcomes and products will look, sound, and feel like.
Professional development was extremely important in this line of work because I myself needed to be taught to think more like a computer.
You're not going to be expected to know how to do something right away. Professional development is actually giving you an opportunity to break things down then so that you can understand it easier, so that then you can explain it to your students in a way that makes them want to pursue things more so.
Computer science is important for kids because this is the world in which they live. If you have a child at home, that child could be 2 or 3 years old and they already know how to swipe on a phone, they know how to engage with an iPad, and we need to be ready as educators, as teachers, and not fear technology coming into the classroom.
They're digital natives. They're born with these things already existing, whereas my generation and generations prior didn't necessarily have everything. So we're preparing our students for a changing world that's full of technology. And as a teacher, that's really our job, to help our students grow to meet life's challenges. And their challenge will definitely involve technology.